All right, Facebook world. Today is day 30 of the 22 for 22 challenge. Since I've started this challenge, 750 of my brothers and sisters have committed suicide. 750. That's more than my graduating class. We did that in 1 month. Really makes you think. So yesterday I promised you a story, a funny story at that. So before I do my push-ups, here's one of my favorite stories of all time. We were within the first 10% of the forces that crossed the border into Iraq. And for the first 3 months, we were pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. Now, I'm sure you've seen pictures on the internet of camel spiders. If you haven't, go check them out. They are just creepy. What's really cool about camel spiders is they have a segmented body, which means they have a front half and a back half. And they can rear up, and they just look awful. It's just so incredible. Anyways, a while back, the Snopes got involved with a photo. The particular photo was taken to make the spider look a lot bigger than it actually was. So Snopes went back and reviewed it and found the real picture, and it wasn't as big as what they said it was. But Snopes went so far as to say that particular size does not exist. I can assure you they get huge out in the middle of the desert. I mean huge. I often do this to simulate a camel spider because I've seen them as big as 2 hands put together. They are frightening. So we're out in the middle, and every military story ever starts in this manner. So there I was, out in the middle of the desert. I was the 60 gunner, so I was in a foxhole, a little bit more than a foxhole. Foxholes are normally for laying down in. This one was built deep enough to where we can stand and put the 60 up on our shoulders and look down range. So we're out there just keeping an eye on sand basically, and we had this group of MPs stationed, camped out, because it was before we even got to anywhere that had stations. We were literally sleeping in trucks. No water, no power, nothing. It was great. It was a lot of fun. So this MP group is camped out near us, and me and my assistant gunner, who I can't remember right now, mainly because he was only my assistant gunner for 2 days. After 2 days, I had enough of him and said, "Get out of here, I'll do it myself." And that's basically how I ended up carrying roughly about 150 pounds of equipment. That's also the reason why my knees don't work properly anymore. That's all right. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So there I was with that MP group camped next to us, and I'm guarding the road that is sitting right in front of us, which of course we didn't drive on. A lot of things that make sense in the military just don't make sense here. It's definitely a different world. So this MP group, we are sitting there watching, and 2 MPs who were very, very large, well-built guys are walking down the road, and they walk past us. Okay, that must be the MPs. And then Probably about 5 minutes later, we see those same MPs running back the other way. We looked at each other and we're like, what the hell is that? Not more than 15, 20 seconds later, we see this damn camel spider just chasing after them. And they were just scared crapless. And I completely understand why. But, for two very large guys who are carrying large weapons, being scared by a spider, just a riot. Later that year, we ended up in Tikrit, which was Saddam's family's compound. And while we were camped there, we had gotten word that some kid, green as grass grows, didn't roll up his sleeping bag. And because of that, a camel spider snuck into his sleeping bag, and while he was asleep, the spider ate him. They're called camel spiders for a reason. The first bite has enough venom to knock out a camel. Then, once the camel is out, the camel spider climbs into the camel and eats its way through. That's what happened to a young man over in Tikrit while we were stationed there. So the funny story led to sort of a heartbreaking conclusion. And I want to remind you that within the 13 years that we've been in both Iraq and Afghanistan, more deaths have come in 1 year from veteran suicide rates. 1 year. We have more suicides than all the deaths we had from the beginning of the Iraq and Afghanistan war till now. That is unacceptable. We can't let this continue to happen. Period. I know there's a lot of issues right now. The politics are obviously very, very hyped. We're still trying our best to keep the Black Lives Movement in the media, which also isn't going well. I commonly put the hashtag Vet Lives Don't Matter because at this point, they don't. Nobody is saying anything about veteran suicide rates. Nobody's doing anything about it. You seen any commercials for it? On the highway today, I drove by a sign that said 110 teenage vehicular deaths. 110. How many signs have you seen about veteran suicide rates? Might I remind you that this year alone, we've had over 7,000. This year alone, if you do the same math and divide that up amongst the 50 states, Ohio has more veteran deaths than teenage vehicle deaths. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the help. Because what else can we do? What else can I do? I'm literally doing everything I possibly can. I tell veterans every day. That picture up there in the corner on Facebook, click it. If you ever have a problem, an issue, you want to talk, I'm here. Civilians, click that share button. No, I'll wait. Go ahead. Do you think everybody knows about this issue? Because nobody's talking about it. I try to involve as many people as possible. I do the guest stars and Sometimes I shoot outside of businesses and whatnot, and I try to get as many people involved as possible because apparently no one knows about this. And it's been going on for 10 years. Well, technically around 13, but a decade is long enough. 7,000 in a year is well more than enough. 60,000 in a decade. You better believe that's way too much. Way too much. And I can't do this alone. I need your help. Hit the share button. Make sure everybody knows. I want this to go countrywide. And I want people to know that veterans are dying almost as much as AIDS kills people. That's including statistics from the 80s. Nowadays, AIDS doesn't kill quite as many. Veteran suicide still does. And it's only getting worse. There's no cure that doctors can come up with a pill. It doesn't work like that. The way it works is that I need all of you. If you're an American, you're included in this. I need all of you to hit that share button. Write your representatives. I post a link up there. All you have to do is follow it. Start clicking on representatives. It doesn't matter if they're yours or not. Just write every last one that you possibly can. Another 25 today. Another 25 of my brothers and sisters. People who went out to serve for you. So that you didn't have to. So that your children didn't have to. Or your parents didn't have to. They went out and did it voluntarily for you. I don't see them as much these days, but the support the troops stickers. If you've got one, you should be writing your representatives every damn day. Otherwise, that sticker on the back of your car is a lie. I literally have no idea what more I can do. Please, message me with ideas. Send this video to people who can help. Send it to politicians. I know we all don't like them, but they're the ones that have the ability to change it, and they need to work on it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now, before we run out of veterans. All right, let's do some push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. When's it gonna end? You tell me, because you're the ones in charge.